What's up, guys? Today I'm going to give you 5 tips on how to get sponsored in skateboarding in 2018. But before I get into that, I just want to kind of talk about my process to the first time I got sponsored was, I'd say the first 3 years or so. That was the last thought from my mind. I was just going out 12, 16 hours a day, all day long, going anywhere I could, skating with anyone I could, and just progressing and having fun. So a lot of the people I see that are asking how to get sponsored, they pretty much just started or haven't been skating too long. So my advice would be just to keep practicing and getting better before you really start focusing on it. All right, so tip number 1 is skate shops. This could be one of the most important parts of getting a sponsor in skateboarding. The skate shop is working with all the brands. So if you're constantly hanging out there, make friends with everybody there, you're a part of the family, the next step is for them to, talk to one of the brands to get you hooked up. So how it works is they have all the brands in the store, and all those brands, they have sales reps for each region and each part of the states or wherever you are. And part of their job is to keep the shops happy and hook some of the local kids up that maybe work at the shop or ride for the shop, to hook them up with sponsors. It kind of keeps everybody happy, and they have promo product to give out, which they want to give that promo product to people that are gonna wear it out in the scene, that are seen by a lot of people, and then that will therefore help them sell that product in the future. But yeah, this is exactly what I did. I went to my favorite skate shop. I'd go there all the time whenever I could and just hang out, meet up with people, skate with people from that shop. And then over time, I started working there. And once you're in there and you work there and you ride for the team, you're almost a sure shot to get a sponsor. As long as you have footage or you're doing something productive, you should be able to get a sponsor that way. All right, and tip number 2 is who you skate with and where you skate. It's no secret that a lot of people that get sponsored, it's all based on networking and who you know, right? And it actually took me a little while to figure this out. But once you get a good feel for the scene, you realize, oh, that guy skates with that guy and that guy rides for the team. And it just kind of makes sense. If they're all going out skating and he's part of the team and you're skating with him and you're friends, it just kind of makes sense for that kid to get put onto that team. So if you think about it in those terms, it really kind of does matter who you skate with. But really, I never thought about it this way. It was more of, I started skating, I was having fun, I wanted to get better, and I would just kind of skate with people better than me and constantly be moving around and skating with different people, because it helps you push your own limits. And what you see on a skateboard every single day, it almost trains a new muscle into what you think is normal, or like a normal level of skating. So a lot of times you'll see a kid that was an amateur skateboarder and he gets put on the main team and he's skating with all the pros and the AMs of that team. And you see his level just kind of skyrocket because he's skating more like a pro because he's skating with pros. And where you skate also matters, because if you're just only skating in your driveway, you're not interacting with people, and the idea for someone to sponsor you is so that you spread their brand. And if you're not out meeting people in the community, there's less of a chance for you to spread that brand. And that's ultimately what the brand wants, is for you to make the brand bigger. But yeah, being out in skate parks and things like that and going to events, whether it's skateboarding, art shows, depending on your age, or contests, things like that, getting in the habit of showing your face there, meeting people, will definitely put you on the right path of getting sponsored. All right, tip number 3 is make sure you're skating their product and you're consistent in what you're wearing. For example, if I wanted to ride for Adidas, I should only be wearing Adidas all the time and filming in Adidas, because it just shows loyalty to the brand and that you're all about them 100%. You know, the brands can see that. Another thing to keep in mind is try to aim for a brand that suits your personality. Now, every brand has an image, so like a brand like DGK, for example, might not be the best fit for me. Sure, it's possible I could ride for him, but it makes more sense for you to aim to something that really suits you and your personality. So once you have down who you want to be sponsored by, start wearing their gear and go out and film in it, and post to Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, everywhere, wearing their stuff. Could even be just pictures of their stuff. Could be you skating in it, could be all, your sponsor tape. Everything you're doing though should be you wearing and endorsing their brand. All right, tip number 4, think from their shoes. Think about if you had a brand, right? You started a company, you're making these skateboards, they're kind of expensive, and you get an email from somebody asking for a free board. Would you want to give it to them? Another way to think about it is, who would you want to sponsor? Say there was 2 identical skaters, one had a YouTube channel and one didn't. It would make more sense to hook up the person with the YouTube channel, because A, they're doing something, they're getting out there, they're making videos, getting exposure, and being seen by some eyes, right? And to the company, that just means that'll mean more sales and more people seeing their product. So you have to try to think from the company's perspective on what will make them the most money. And once you start really thinking from their shoes, you can kind of understand how they're operating their company and what they're aiming for. And then you could send them a message of how you can help them achieve that, which is more likely to lead to a sponsorship rather than just asking for something for free. And tip number 5 is treat social media as your portfolio. Picture you were handing in your application for a job and it was just a bunch of pictures of you sitting around in pajamas or, doing whatever it is that you do on your social media. Doesn't look too good, right? You'd be like, no thanks, that's all right. So just make sure you're trying to keep it neat, clean. If it's, you're trying to get a skateboarding sponsor, try to keep it all about skateboarding and as professional as you can. Because ultimately that is the modern day portfolio, is your YouTube channel, your Instagram, other social media platforms. And then once you have those built and professional looking, then you could start emailing companies and reaching out to them and trying to offer them business plans to how you could grow and how you guys could help each other. But really, 2018 is the best time to try to get sponsored. Coming from growing up skating 15 years ago, it was very, very, very difficult. And you had to be at a very high level of skateboarding and know a lot of people high up to get lucky, to make it to a sponsor, But now you don't even need talent, honestly. You don't need, if you have a social media following, you could get a sponsor from that. And you could start your own YouTube channel, Instagram, all these things you could do right on your phone, right at home. That's what I'm doing. I make all these on my phone. And, compared to years ago, you had to have a friend that filmed and could afford a camera, and it was just sending a tape in the mail to somebody. It's just definitely a different world, and I think you should take advantage of it and make it happen. Just have to work hard, and don't forget to be a good person. That's probably the most important tip of all this. I've seen people be amazing skateboarders, and once they start to make it, that was the end of their career because people just didn't like them. They weren't good people. They weren't good to their fans or to the other riders or to people that work at the company. So that will definitely surface later on if you're not a good person. So that's probably the most important part of all this. All right, guys, I hope these tips were helpful. Good luck out there, and thanks for watching.